What's good, y'all? It's good to be back. It's your boy Spence from the Soul Sandy Sneaker Podcast channel. Today we'll be doing a sneaker review about the Air Trainer Huarache Cool Blue, releasing for the first time in 10 years. So I took a little hiatus last week. I had to go and celebrate one of my boys, one of my day ones, proposing to his girlfriend. Shout out to Jalen, shout out to Daesh. Congratulations to both of you guys. It was a beautiful event out in Hampton, Georgia. Beautiful. Had a great time. I got some shoes from my brother in Atlanta. I was able to spend some time with the fam over Labor Day. So please forgive me for my hiatus over this last few days. I wasn't able to get out a lot of content for you guys. But shout out to everybody watching the podcast, man. The podcast is the reason that we're here. That is how we got started here on this channel. Me and Eli started a podcast, and then me and Rich had a podcast going before I left Wilmington. We've always been here for the love of the game, for the love of the sneakers. So shout out to everybody that's watching those. I know these get a little bit more love than the podcast videos, but if you guys really want to hear in-depth conversations, opinions, debates, everything like that on sneakers, culture, reselling, sports, all of the things that tie all of those things together, we're here for every week, Sunday at 1 p.m. Tune in. I appreciate all y'all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about the Air Trainer Huarache that did release yesterday. I'm a little bit late. Like I said, I was a little busy over the last weekend or so. So let's get right into it. I know I'm going to miss some of the ain't no way. I brought home the wrong shoe, y'all. Okay, well, unfortunately, I'll have to put the footage in later, but I'm going to continue to talk about the shoe like I have it here in my hands. So, because I don't have my vehicle right now. I let my girlfriend drive it to work, so we're going to get started. We're going to talk about them like I brought home the right shoes. I definitely told my employee that this was not that shoe, and he still went and put it back in that spot. They don't listen. All right. So, the Air Trainer Huarache came out in 1992. It was worn by Bo Jackson. This is not a Bo Jackson signature silhouette. We don't get one of those until 2015. And then this is just an Air Trainer, a cross trainer that is closely related to Bo, just because he wore it. But before we get to that, let's start at the beginning. So at the beginning, in 1987, Tinker Hatfield designed the Nike Air Trainer 1. Now, this is a little bit more closely related to John McEnroe and Andre Agassi, both tennis players at the time, but this shoe does still have a link to Bo Jackson. He did wear them. And the cross trainer was born in Tinker Hatfield's head after going to the gym and having a heavy duffel bag and bringing so many different shoes for lifting, running, basketball. He wanted to create something that would be, versatile. So he created the Air Trainer 1. And it had more lateral support with the traction on both sides of the forefoot to give it more lateral support than a running shoe. And then you had the strap for added stability. That was 1987. In 1988, we were introduced to the Nike Air Trainer 2, which was very similar silhouette, just a lot lower style. Next year, we have the Air Trainer 3, 1999. The colorway most closely associated with Bo Jackson with the Air Trainer 3 is the Medicine Ball colorway. For those of you who haven't seen, it's like a brown and navy blue colorway of this shoe right here. This is a classic, one of the staples. I really enjoy this shoe, especially in this color. I do have another color as well, which is a special pair. It's a Dracula colorway. Really clean, super fire in my opinion, especially it adds blood speckles on it and all that other stuff. It's super cool, but this model is definitely underrated. Next, we have probably the most famous shoe linked to Bo Jackson, which is the Air Trainer SC High. And I meant to pull out the Rainers colorway of this that I have, but unfortunately I just grabbed the first box I could see. But this is the Air Trainer SC High. released in 1990, super popular. This is this is usually known as Bo's shoe, Bo's signature shoe, even though it's not. It does not have his name on it. None of the trainers have his name on it. But this one is very closely associated with Bo. It comes in a Raiders colorway. It comes in Auburn colorway. It comes in very many. It also comes in a Medicine Ball colorway, but it comes in a lot of Bo inspired colorways. Right after this, we did get the Nike Air Max SC2 somewhere between 1990 and 91, because we did get another signature, not signature silhouette. We did get another silhouette in 1991, the Nike Air Max Trainer 91. So those two did release in between this one and the one I'm about to talk about, which is why we're here. I'll bring these out, even though it's the wrong shoe. I'm very disappointed. Even though it's the wrong shoe, I'll bring it out anyway. So this is the Nike Air Trainer. This is not the Cool Blue colorway, unfortunately, that I'm supposed to have here in my hand, but I did grab the wrong box at my store. I'm so apologetic. I really am disappointed in myself for that. So the original Nike Air Huarache, not the Trainer, just the Huarache, which, pull out one of those. Should have been prepared. Should have grabbed that. Cool, and I grabbed the right pair. So this is the Nike Air Huarache. It's released in 1991. This is the original colorway, Scream Green. Classic silhouette right here. This was mildly popular at the time, but it inspired 3 other shoes to come out in 1992, mostly designed by Tinker, but the trainer, the Flight Huarache, is credited to have been helped by Eric Avar, who, for most of you guys know, he designed most of the Kobe line in the early 2000s. So I guess I don't really have room up here for all these shoes, but I'll kind of like stick it off the side. So 1991, 1992. Now, in 1992, when the Air Trainer Huarache was released, it released in 3 original colorways. Cool Blue, which is the one that I'm supposed to have here on the screen, the Berry, and then the Green Topaz colorway. So we haven't seen these in a while. There is other colorways that are like non-OG, but kind of synonymous as the OG, which is like there's a black and gray version that looks very similar to the Cool Gray. These are very coveted. But the Air Trainer getting retroed is something that we kind of have expected since last year. Cortez did 3 different colorways with the Air Trainer Huarache, and the culture nowadays is to give something some kind of collab or some kind of exclusivity before releasing more colorways later in the year, just to kind of drum up the hype. They did it with the Mac Attack, Cactus Jack Mac Attack. We get that on New Balances all the time. Before we get the Shadow 10s, we got the exclusive Steel 10s, very limited. Before we got some of the foam posits back this year, we got the Galaxy foams. Just different. The airships, we've got collabs with those first. Nigel, Aminier, what was I about to say? I already talked about the Nike Attack. We got a bunch of limited Kobe's, and then we got, more general release Kobe's. That's just been kind of a marketing tactic from Nike, is to give you scarcity and then eliminate that scarcity and flood the market with pairs and make it available to everybody, which is a good thing. 2025 is a great year for collectors. If you aren't out here taking advantage of this, now is the time. You can grab a lot of your sneakers for retail this year. I have not paid resale for any shoe this year except for one, and that was the Bread High 85, and that was because that was just so limited that I don't think any stores in North Carolina had that shoe, so I just had no choice. So, and also in 1992, 2 other shoes released around this that are very similar in tech, which is not uncommon for Tinker to release multiple shoes that are very similar around the same time, like the Jordan 4 and the Air Tech Challenge. So a tennis shoe and a basketball shoe, very similar, came out in the same year, had the same tech, the 4-foot air and the visible air in the back, and the lockdown wings, all of that stuff is very similar from that. So the other shoe, well, I guess the other 2 shoes. So this is the Air Flight Huarache. So, I mean, literally, essentially almost the same shoe. It's just here, this is not a cross trainer. This is a specific basketball shoe. So we have the Huarache straps on the back, higher profile here for ankle support. But everything else is pretty much the same. No strap here. The traction is different, but this is essentially a basketball version of this. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Okay, cool. And I got one more shoe to grab. Also releasing in 1992. I really wish I would have came prepared for this. I just want to say, guys, I'm very disappointed in myself for not bringing home the right shoe. I wish all of my new viewers that are going to see this video, I'm very sorry. This is not how I usually am. I'm usually very prepared and meticulous about these things. And any other day, I would just drive to my store and go get the right pair, but that's not available today. So the last shoe releasing in 1992 that is very similar to this is the Air Jordan 7. Obviously, not actual Huarache here on it, but inspired the same. It does have the same booty liner here and the same wings here, but not cut out. So you guys see the similarities. Yeah. So you guys see the similarities here. Obviously, there's no Nike branding on the Air Jordan 7, but it is a Jordan brand of this sneaker essentially, but then this is the crossbanner version of this sneaker. So all of these are very similar in design, shape, tech, everything. It's just a little tweak here and there to make each of these their own shoe, but they are still very similar. I don't even know how to get everything in the shot. I have so many shoes out in this video. So the Cool Blue Trainer Huarache, released originally in 1999. It saw a retro in 2015. And now for the second time ever, we are getting a retro here in 2025. The release date for these was September 1st. Yesterday, these are releasing for a total price of $170. So keep that in mind. These are a little bit more expensive than they have been in the past. Everything is going up nowadays. You got tariffs, you got the Nike increase. We're literally in a recession, so you know, I'm gonna try and catch these on sale. I will not be purchasing these yet. There's just too many other things coming out at this time and that I just got. So obviously I got the Wake 5s, Undefeated 4s, videos for those coming shortly, probably later half of this week. And I'm just bogged down. I got to make sure I grab those. I think I'm going to go for the Salehi 1000s that drop in about an hour. And then I do have the Yu-Gi-Oh! Air Max 95s releasing on September the 12th that I have to save my funds for. And then I'm hoping to catch Cool Blue is on sale. I'm hoping to catch Shatter Backboards on sale. I'm hoping to catch Diamond Turf Emeralds on sale as well. So look out for, some more. I've already done the videos on all those shoes, but look out for some more. The room is growing. The collection is growing. It's always, ever changing. I don't really sell a whole lot, but we are bringing more in here. Let me know down below if there's something in here that you guys want to see. We did recently change our angle just for the podcast setup. We had some guests in here, so we had to change the way. I will be back in my little studio corner soon, but if you guys are interested in seeing any pairs that I have or have any questions about collecting, anything like that, please feel free to leave me a comment down below, like, a sub, all of that means the world. So last but not least, let's get into the materials of these shoes. Returning this year is the Air Trainer Huarache in the familiar Cool Blue colorway, featuring a black nubuck mudguard, midfoot panel, and collar, paired with perforated blue nubuck on the toe box. This design is further elevated by its neoprene booty sleeve, very familiar to the Huarache line. Bright blue accents continue on the Air Huarache branded tag, heel, overlays, pull tab, and sock liner. Clean white tumbled leather on the midfoot straps add contrast with the midsole black, white, and blue tying the whole look together. Like I said, these did release yesterday for $170. They did very well. We had about 18 pairs. We have 6 pairs left or less. Most of the middle sizes being gone, 9.5, 10, 10.5, 11. We did have big sizes and smaller sizes remaining, but the middle sizes were gone. So if you haven't gotten them already, you know, go check out your local DTLR, Hibbett, Champs, Foot Lockers. A lot of these were getting let go early at a lot of places, so some of the stock is gone, but there's still quite a few of these out here. But this was a hot release, but I do think it's one of those things where the people that wanted it got it, and now it's going to sit on the shelf in whatever quantities are remaining. So if you want a pair, just do your legwork, and you definitely should be able to get a pair even after release. Like I said, I'm going to look to catch these on sale. Let me know down below if you will be copying the Air Trainer Huarache Cool Blue, returning for the first time in 10 years. Leave a comment, leave a sub. We really appreciate everybody here. Anybody that's new, I'm really sorry for forgetting my shoe. I will try to remedy that in the editing process. But you guys have a great day. I will catch you guys out on another video. Peace.